In this video, we're gonna do a deep dive on the ketogenic diet, or keto diet for short. I'm gonna show you why it works, including some potentially life-changing benefits for you, some key numbers you need to hit, and what to eat. And make sure to stick around until the end because I'm gonna show you what you can pair the keto diet with to turn your body into a fat burning machine. Don't believe me? It's how one of my students lost a mind-blowing 80 pounds and got her pre-baby body back by using this strategy. It's also how one of my other students lost 70 pounds, both of which are life-changing weight loss transformations to say the least. So you know it works. Before I get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Alright, let's dive in. I am very passionate about the keto diet for many reasons. Not only have I seen it improve my own health, but I've also seen it improve the health of all my students in my program. And for my own selfish reasons, I've also seen it improve the health of my parents. Food is definitely the greatest medicine. Let me just read some of the amazing benefits of the keto diet. You get stabilized blood sugar and insulin, decreased inflammation, increased energy, improved mental clarity, lowered triglycerides, increased HDL cholesterol, improved PCOS symptoms. Oh, and yeah, weight loss. But as you can see, weight loss might be the least impressive benefit of the keto diet when you see all the improvements in your biomarkers. I personally think it's a no-brainer for any individual looking to improve their health to try. I've even had students reverse their type 2 diabetes by going keto because again, it lowers blood sugar and insulin. Type 2 diabetes is caused by hyperinsulinemia. And yes, type 2 diabetes is completely reversible. If your doctor tells you otherwise or doesn't offer a dietary change as a solution and just prescribes you metformin and insulin, you need to find a new doctor. Okay, first, let's quickly define what the keto diet is. A keto diet, in its very essence, is a very low-carb, moderate protein, high-fat diet. You have to severely limit your carb intake and you have to be getting most of your calories from fat or it's not a keto diet. There are rules, and we're gonna talk about specific numbers in a second here. Now, you might be wondering, isn't fat bad for you? The short answer is no. Eating fat alone won't make you fat. That's honestly one of the biggest nutrition myths of all time. You should check out my other videos if that's news to you. The problem is, a lot of people are still under the impression that it's true. If you want a quick history lesson about how fat got its bad rap, back in the 1960s, there was an uptick in Americans dying from heart disease. Scientists back then, led by a guy named Ancel Keys, who was very biased against fat, had two choices to blame. It was either fat or sugar. And we all know who won that debate, and it's led to massive unintended consequences. Americans and most of the Western Hemisphere were told that fat was bad and carbs and sugar were okay, and now we're in the midst of an obesity epidemic. Are you with me so far? Next, let's talk about some numbers. You want to go around at least 65 to 70% fat, 25% protein, and around 5% carbs. But don't be married to those percentages. The most important number here is the amount of carbs in your diet. And this number should apply to the majority of the population. You want to go below 50 grams of carbs in total daily. That's not net carbs, by the way, where you get to subtract fiber. That's total carbs. So I highly recommend that you track your macros when you're just starting out, so you know what these numbers look like in terms of food. Next up, which is equally as important, protein. The amino acids in protein literally becomes the building blocks your body uses to build itself from within. It's important that you get enough protein every day, regardless of whatever diet you follow. If you don't get enough of it, that's usually when people experience hair loss, dry skin, and muscle loss. Your goal is to eat 0.8 grams per pound of lean body mass. You get your lean body mass by subtracting your body fat percentage. Next up, I want you to treat fat as a lever. This is a very common mistake that a lot of people make when they go keto. You can either get fat from the foods that you eat, or you can get it from your own body. If you have a lot of unwanted body fat that you want to lose, where would you rather get your fat intake from? Now, it's important that you eat enough fat because it's satiating. The good thing is fat and protein usually go hand in hand. Think about an egg, ground beef, or cheese. They all contain fat and protein. What I'm trying to say is don't go out of your way by adding MCT oil or soaking your salad in olive oil just because you heard that it's a high-fat diet. Now, why does the keto diet work? What's so special about it? What is the method to this madness? Here's a very important concept that you need to understand. Think of your body as a hybrid engine. Hybrid means it can run on two different types of fuel. Think of a cool hybrid car like a BMW i8 instead of a Prius. You can either be a sugar burner or a fat burner. You can't do both at the same time. So when you give your body mainly fat to burn, it adapts to become very good at using fat for energy. Your brain, for example, which was previously running entirely on glucose from sugar and starch in your diet, begins to run on a new fuel called ketones. Ketones are produced in your liver by breaking down fat. As long as you don't go past your daily carb limit intake, which again is 50 grams, in 2 to 6 weeks, you become fat adapted. You're running on mostly fat for energy, and your body enters a state called ketosis. That's where the name ketogenic comes from. It's a metabolic state where your body is mostly burning fat for energy, whether that's coming from the foods that you eat or, again, stored body fat. This is also called metabolic flexibility. The problem is, most people are mainly burning carbs, which then your body converts into glucose for energy, and they've lost the ability to burn fat. Literally the definition of metabolic inflexibility. The body will always burn through energy from carbs first. It's a quick hit of fuel. The body saves fat for rainy days. But when we reduce the amount of carbs we eat, our body switches to burning fat instead. The switch in this process is the hormone insulin. Now, you might be wondering, why does this matter? If you're carb dependent or a sugar burner, the body can only store it in a limited amount. We can only store around 2,000 calories worth of energy in the form of glucose in our muscles and liver. After that, you need to refuel with more carbs right away. Otherwise, you'll experience a sugar or energy crash. And I'm sure you've experienced this type of energy crash before. A couple of hours after a high carb breakfast or lunch, you can't focus, you feel hungry, your energy starts to dip, and you need to eat again. And it's most likely another high carb meal. When you become a fat burner, it allows you to tap into your almost unlimited fat stores and burn it for energy. I've said this many times in my other videos, but you have at least 100,000 calories worth of stored energy in the form of body fat waiting to be used. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to deduce which energy source you'd rather use. You just need to be able to tap into your fat stores, and the keto diet allows you to do that. This is why fat is a much more stable energy source, because you don't have these big spikes and crashes throughout the day. By the way, ketosis is a normal metabolic function. Some people confuse it with ketoacidosis, which is something completely different. If we didn't have this hybrid capability to tap into stored energy, aka body fat, when food was scarce, we would have gone extinct as a species. Quick note, if you're breastfeeding, it's not advisable to go keto. Also, if you're taking blood sugar medication, you should definitely work with your doctor so they can adjust your dosage. Next, this is a big one. What should you eat on the keto diet? There's a downloadable and more detailed version of this list, but here's a rapid-fire version of it. The bulk of your plate should be mostly animal products and some non-starchy vegetables. I'm talking about broccoli, cauliflower, cucumber, lettuce, spinach, zucchini, squash, and the likes. Feel free to eat any type of meat, poultry, eggs, and seafood. Next, try to limit your fruit intake because most fruits are high in sugar. You gotta remember that fruit is nature's version of candy. It's really the best way to describe it. It shouldn't get a free pass because the sugar is natural. Avocados and seasonal berries are your best options if you want to eat fruit. For treats, if you can tolerate dairy, always go for the full-fat version. Feel free to try all types of cheese on this diet. Personally, my nightly dessert is a spoonful of Greek yogurt. It's the best. You can also eat nuts and seeds if you can tolerate them. Just be careful with your carb count when you eat them. You can also eat a couple of squares of dark chocolate, preferably 85% cacao or higher. In terms of cooking oil, butter, ghee, avocado, macadamia, and coconut oil are your best options. Do not use cheap vegetable oils like sunflower, peanut, safflower, and the likes. They are literally toxic to the human body. Next, how do you know if you're in ketosis? Do yourself a favor and don't waste your money on urine strips, because it only measures how much the body is excreting and not how much the body is creating and using. The gold standard is a blood test. A ketone breath meter has also been shown to be effective, but both can be pricey. It's really not necessary to test, in my opinion. I mean, I don't test. Just listen to your body. The simplest way to test whether you're in ketosis or not is how long can you go in between meals without eating. If you get hangry 2 to 3 hours after eating, then you're absolutely not in ketosis. But if you can go hours in between meals, then that's a good sign that you're in ketosis. Remember, there's an adaptation period of 2 to 6 weeks here. Now, let's quickly talk about this adaptation process. For some people, when they switch to the keto diet, they kind of start to feel like crap. Most people say they get hunger pangs, headaches, and fatigue. This is more commonly known as the keto flu. Thankfully, it's perfectly normal and temporary. Think of your body literally going through carb withdrawals when you make the switch to the keto diet, especially if you've been following the standard American diet and you've been eating a lot of refined grains and sugar. Getting headaches, hunger pangs, and fatigue is just your body's natural reaction to the change that you're putting it through. Again, there's an adaptation period. You can't just flip a switch. You have to give it some time. If it was easy, everyone would be doing this. And remember, you are literally going against years, if not a lifetime of eating habits. The keto flu is just this short period of time where you're adjusting to this new way of fueling your body. Just ride it out. Now, one of the best benefits of the keto diet is that it allows your insulin levels to stay moderated. And I've mentioned the importance of moderating insulin ad nauseum on my channel because it's the hormone that controls our body weight. But just to quickly recap, when insulin levels are high, you cannot access your own body fat and burn it for energy. You just can't. It gets locked away. High insulin blocks fat burning. Refined carbs and sugar are the most insulinogenic types of food. When you allow insulin to get low, it becomes easy to access your fat stores and burn them off, which makes the keto diet an unbelievably powerful weight loss tool. You can actually amplify those benefits even more by combining it with intermittent fasting. They fit perfectly together like peanut butter and jelly. That's actually a bad example. So how do they benefit one another? Number one, you shift into ketosis faster. Again, one of the primary goals of the keto diet is to get your body into a state of nutritional ketosis. And you do this again by restricting carbs to 50 grams or less every day. When you do intermittent fasting, you deplete your body of glycogen stores because that's what gets used up first. You can actually expedite this process even more by doing fasted workouts, which also brings its own sets of benefits. Make sure to check out my other videos about it. But once your glycogen stores are gone, fat stores are released into your bloodstream to be converted into ketones, and you enter a state of, you know it, ketosis. So if you combine intermittent fasting, which puts you in a state of ketosis, to a diet that puts you in a state of nutritional ketosis, the keto diet, then you become an unbelievably efficient fat burning machine, which is actually benefit number two. It maximizes weight loss. The common idea that intermittent fasting and the keto diet share is they're designed to switch your body from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. And when you combine the two, fat burning is maximized. Here's why. Once your body enters a state of nutritional ketosis through the keto diet, then your body has adapted itself to using fat as fuel, right? You're metabolically flexible. When you add intermittent fasting into the mix, your body is already fat adapted and will actually be even more efficient at continuing to burn fat. You just keep burning body fat after your body is done digesting your ketogenic meal. Compare this to someone who follows the standard American diet of high carb and low fat, or even if you're someone who follows the regular 40-30-30 split, as told by a lot of experts. If you do intermittent fasting, your body will be much less efficient at burning fat because it doesn't really get a chance to get into nutritional ketosis. If you keep eating carbs, your body will always prefer to use that up first. So you're in this state of metabolic limbo because you never fully become fat adapted. This is why some people don't get good results with intermittent fasting, by the way. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get good results from intermittent fasting if you follow a high carb, low fat diet. Some people do. It really depends on a lot of things that exceed the scope of this video. Number three, it boosts brain health, and it increases mental clarity. Your brain is one of your body's biggest consumers of energy, around 20% of your daily haul. Fat, not sugar, which is another myth, is actually the most energy efficient fuel that your body can run on. It's a clean burning fuel, while sugar burns dirty. It stimulates the generation of free radicals, which causes inflammation. Systemic inflammation, in case you didn't know, is the root cause of a lot of disease. Since both intermittent fasting and the keto diet train your body to burn fat for energy, your brain reaps huge benefits if you combine the two. Again, you have at least 100,000 calories worth of stored energy in the form of body fat waiting to be used. It's not just there for looks. As long as your body knows how to tap into those fat stores for fuel, your brain has a constant and efficient energy source on which to run on. So say goodbye to brain fog. The biggest piece of advice I can give you when you switch to the keto diet is you need to fully commit yourself to making the change. Give it at least 30 days minimum and go from there. If you're not used to fasting, don't worry about it for now. Baby steps. Go through the adaptation process first. Once your body is fat adapted, you can slowly start transitioning to an intermittent fasting and keto lifestyle. Worst case, you get to enjoy a bunch of highly satiating and delicious food for 30 days. Is that really so bad? Best case scenario, you get to change your life. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I was finally able to get rid of all my unwanted body fat without depriving myself of my favorite foods or spending countless hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Virtual high five.